Good morning. I want to show you another way that you can use biscuit dough. So you have an assignment coming up called a variation on biscuits or muffins, and this is a variation that you can do on a biscuit. It's not going to look or taste like what you think of as a biscuit. So I'm going to use, I made my just standard biscuit dough, and I'm going to use it to make cinnamon buns. This is a really quick way to make cinnamon buns. Usually cinnamon buns require a yeast dough that has to rise for an hour, and then has to be kneaded, and then has to rise again for another hour. So this is a quick way to cheat and make cinnamon buns that are just as good, I think. So I've kneaded out my biscuit dough here a little bit and formed it into a square. Now I'm going to roll it out. My rolling pin's in an awkward spot, so there we go. Okay, here we go. Rolling out. I want to get a biggish rectangle. I don't worry too much about exactly how big. I just go until it's a even depth and kind of. So now I'm just going to try and get my corners so it's a little bit more of a rectangle. Okay, so now you can see it's probably about 8 by 12 or something of that, maybe by 16, something to that extent. Okay, now I'm going to turn this into cinnamon buns. I like to turn it. I've got some butter softening here on the stove. So I'm going to spread this with softened or melted butter. Alright. Yum. Don't think about how much butter this is. This is not a recipe that is good for you. This is a treat. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so we've got my butter on there. And now we're going to spread it with some brown sugar. Okay. Again, you notice that I'm not measuring. I'm not really, I'm just eyeing it. I'm doing as much as looks good and it's gonna, I know, make a nice gooey filling.
Goodness.
Nice. Exactly. Okay. And then I'm going to add my cinnamon. The other day I made these and I forgot the cinnamon. And nobody realized until we had eaten about half of them. So they're good whether you get the cinnamon in there or not. Okay.
It's just better with cinnamon.
You're just better with cinnamon.
And also
right.
that makes it the cinnamon rolls.
That's what makes it cinnamon rolls, is the cinnamon. You could do this same thing with jam. You could roll out your biscuit dough, spread it with jam, roll it up. Okay, that would be yum too. I have an 8 by 8 pan here. Let's give it a light spray. When I'm cutting my cinnamon buns, I like to start in the center, divide it in half, and then divide it in, I'm gonna do actually 5. We are a family of 5. It's always nice to make sure that things are divided kind of evenly. 5 is a little bit tricky because it's not an even number, so they aren't going to be exactly all the same size, but close enough. Okay, then I pop them and arrange them in my pan.
Yeah, the cameraman is tired.
The cameraman is getting tired, but he's doing a good job. And then these are going to bake in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. I will check it in about 12 minutes to see how they're doing. And there you go. All right, have a good morning.